Karen from Countyfairgrounds USA, countyfairgrounds.net. Welcome to today's podcast.
Hi, Laura.
Hi, how's it going?
Oh, very busy as usual. Okay. Yep. Hi. You have a rather unusual act. It's called kinetic-entertainment. So how long have you been doing this? And tell me a little bit about it.
I've been doing it for about 15 years now. And, oh, man, it feels like such a long time that I say in 15 years because when I started, I didn't have kids, and, oh, my gosh, a lot has happened in that time. But it's a really wonderful show where it's different, but it still has a lot of wonderful callbacks to some acts that you're familiar with at festivals and fairs. I start inside of a giant human-sized hamster ball, so it's like a beach ball that's clear that I get inside of, and I do all kinds of stunts inside there. And then I have acrobatic hula hooping and fire juggling. If fire is not allowed, I change it over to knives, and I have aerial fabric as well that sets up on this sort of structure that fits inside my car, and I bring a portable aerial rig, and we just set it up usually next to the stage.
Okay. Well, you know, I always have to ask you people who do these weird things, how did you get started in this?
I was in a middle school play. It was Pippin, and everybody in the cast had to learn how to juggle for the first act. And I was very ambitious, even as like a middle schooler, and I was like, I'm going to learn how to juggle not just the scarves like most people are doing. I'm going to learn how to juggle clubs. I was bad. I dropped, I think, every single night of the show on this Halloween stage, and so it echoed throughout the entire auditorium. But the determination stayed with me, and I loved juggling so much that I did it for hours, and I got better over the years. And then when I graduated from college, I actually went into Vegas to do a international juggling competition, and I won first place. And I'm like, well, dang, how about I just make this my career instead?
What did you major in college?
Graphic design.
Oh, okay. What was your first show?
It was doing fire shows in my hometown, and I would just did this sort of as street performing. So I would ask the city, hey, can I come down and do like a little juggling performance before the band starts for this festival that you've got going on? And they're like, oh yeah, sure, we'll mark out a space for you. And then I asked for tips afterwards. And those were my very first shows. And I really got addicted to the performing after those because I loved being in front of an audience.
Oh, okay. I would think it would make some people nervous.
Oh, yeah. For me, it was the opposite. It was just like, this is the best place to be.
Okay, so you've never done anything else for a career then?
Oh, not really.
Okay.
I would say
All right.
I've had little jobs here and there. Like I also worked for the census during COVID times. They had the 2020 census, and obviously there was no shows going on during that time. I also help people vote. So when you go down to vote at your polling place, the person that takes your driver's license and gets your ballot, that's me.
Okay.
2-day a year job.
Well, it's an important job. So, what did your parents think of this?
They definitely. Well, I was always like a little bit of an odd kid, so to them this was on brand. Let's see if I can get a good story here. My mom is a teacher. She taught grade school, and my dad is an electrician. So they are normal people.
Yeah, okay. All right. So what was your first big show? Do you remember?
Big show? I don't know.
What was your first show that was a paid audience?
Oh, that's a really good question. I haven't thought about that in a long time. I think it was...
Yeah, people don't usually forget that. That's why I asked.
Yeah, and for me it was so organic. It went from doing it just for fun outside, and then doing it at festivals, and then that were the little hometown festivals, and then it just kind of went from there to, I should do this full time. And then I think it was actually a theme park. If I'm remembering correctly, it was a theme park that had hired me, and I had moved out to the East Coast.
All right. So where did the hamster ball come from?
Yeah. Okay. So this one, I had my juggling show, and I had kept adding things to it, the hula hoops and various other props along with it. And then I got a gig in Myrtle Beach, and there's this Broadway at the beach area, and there's a gentleman that would stick people inside of these, clear beach ball type things, and like there's a rope attached to it, and he would send them out onto the lake, and they'd roll around for 5 minutes and then come back, and it was a lot of fun. And he had a line, good 20 people deep all day, every day. It was crazy. So I saw this, and I'm like, I could juggle in that. And I asked the guy, I was like, hey, can I buy a ball from you? And he's like, yeah, sure. Here you go.
Oh.
Follow me out to the parking lot. Here's a ball. Have fun.
Yeah, I've never seen anybody else in the ball but you. All the years I've been interviewing. So
wow.
It's something different. It's something different.
Yeah, and it does go on the water too. I've done performances on the water where I've got the juggling balls, and sometimes it's at night and the glow balls are on there, and I've got a glow costume. Sometimes, most of the time we just do it on land though. Okay.
But you do other things on stage besides play with the ball. I mean, I've seen you go up way up in the air. How did that get started?
When I started, I was teaching gymnastics when I first moved out to the East Coast, as well as doing shows while I was getting my feet underneath me. And at that gym, they had an aerial class, and I'm like, oh man, I definitely want to do that. So I took it to it like a fish to water, because I already had the gymnastics and the circus sort of background. So I had the strength for it, and then I just had to learn how to do it. And then it's just one of those moments I love in the show, because it's got that like, ooh, it's pretty but it's dangerous kind of factor, but it's not dangerous to me because I know exactly how it works and how to do it incredibly safely. Okay, so you have kids. How old are they? They are 4. I don't know. She just had a birthday. I have a 5-year-old and an 8-year-old. What do they think of this? To them, I don't think they realize that this is odd. I did a really fun lyra, which is the aerial hoop. I did a duo act with my eldest daughter when she was 5, and we were in cute little matching tutus, and it was wonderful. But then she had other interests, so it never really took. But the younger one is very physically active, so I'm wondering if she'll get into circus. But right now it's just, that's just mom. Okay. So do you remember some of your bigger shows that when you first started? Oh, well, it's on America's Got Talent. That was a big deal. And very nerve-wracking. I didn't get very far, but that's okay because it was still a really fun experience. And then I got to be on TV. I got to meet the judges. I got to be on this really beautiful stage. What I always say that one of my absolute favorite gigs ever was, and I can't remember what it was called, but it was a convention for amusements. So like a lot of people for theme parks or traveling carnivals would go, and they had everything from the little food vendors, and everything was free, so you could try out all the food from those. And there were video games, and you could try out all the video games, and there were bounce houses, and then so I got flown down to Florida. I did a tech rehearsal. I got to just play around on the convention floor for several hours, and then I did my performance, and then I went home, and it was one of the best gigs ever. Okay, so you book a lot of shows every year? Oh yeah, this is what I do full time, and then obviously you've got sort of your seasons of like, here's the Christmas show season, here's the library show season, here's the festival and fair season, here's the pumpkin farms season. Do you have a husband? Yeah. What does he do? He is also normal. Back in the day before we had kids, I loved it. He used to come around with me and he would assist me for the show. But then we had kids, and now he stays home with the kids while I go and do performances. But he is he does shoot. He explained it to me more than once, and I still don't really understand what it is. But he makes sure that he does like code for financial institutions to make sure that when you use your card, the money that transfers easily and correctly from the bank to the place from your card.
Okay. All right. Well.
Yeah.
Where are you booked this year?
Oh, a lot of different places. And none of them are coming to mind right now. Not a single one. They all skipped my brain. I had Sturgis Falls and Cedar Rapids. And I've still got some dates available. Plenty of the weekends are taken up, but there's still some dates that I'm like, oh, I don't have a 4th of July gig. That's still available.
So do you do your own booking then, I take it?
Oh, a little bit of everything. So I've got a couple of agents that help me out with that. I do also book myself. So if you just get a hold of me, that's probably the easiest way to do it.
Yeah, Laura, you got 2 little kids at home. So that's why
exactly.
I'm trying to help you here. So.
Yeah. And that's honestly, that's sort of the easiest way to go. My agents are wonderful. I love working with them. They have connections that work so well with and they have a bunch of other people on their roster that are also amazing. So if I'm not available, they just turn to another person on their roster.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So have you performed all over the country pretty much? Yeah.
I'm trying to get to the point where I've performed in every single state, and so far no Hawaii or Alaska.
Oh, well, maybe we'll fix that.
There we go.
Okay. How long do you intend on doing this?
How long do I intend to keep going, or how long is the show? Oh.
How long is the show?
The show can be anywhere from 2 minutes down up to 2 hours, but I would say typically it's 3 half-hour shows for festivals and fairs or 2 45-minute shows. But I've got enough material after 15 years that I can do a lot.
So you bring all your own stuff when you do a show?
Yeah, so I've got the portable aerial rig. I've got the my own sound system. I've got and usually it's daylight during the show, so I usually don't have lights with me. All I really need is a nice, level, safe surface to perform on and an electrical outlet. All right. Well, okay. How do people reach you? Go to laura-ernst.com, laura-ernst.com, or it's info@laura-ernst.com. Will get you to my email. Okay. They can also reach you on Facebook, right? Oh, yeah. Facebook and Instagram and just about everything but TikTok. Okay. I'm just I don't have brain room for another social media thing. Yes, I know. It's the Internet is growing exponentially. Okay. All right. Thank you, Laura. I've enjoyed talking to you, and I'll go through this and straighten it up a little bit, so don't worry about it, okay? We'll get it posted. All right. Thank you. I really appreciate you doing an interview with me. All right. Thank you, Laura. Bye-bye.